So, here's the big question we're looking at. Has the market completely missed the boat on what AMD is becoming? Okay, to really get what's happening now, we have to rewind a bit. We need to look at the old battlefield, at AMD's traditional business. And let me tell you, it was a familiar and brutal fight.
Look, most people just watch the markets go up and down. This channel is for people who want to understand why they move. If you want to stay ahead of that curve, go ahead and subscribe.
For years, this was the game. It was all about this really volatile cycle. Just a constant battle of chip versus chip. A big win with a new CPU could be wiped out by a delay in GPUs. It made their revenue look like a roller coaster, really hard to predict.
But something has fundamentally changed. A new system called Helios suggests that AMD just crossed a critical threshold and is completely reframing the entire conversation.
And listen, we're not just talking about another slightly faster chip here. No way. The Helios system represents a total repositioning for AMD. It's their way of getting out of that old chip war for good. The whole thing hinges on a really simple insight about AMD's biggest customers, the hyperscalers. You see, their needs have evolved. They aren't just shopping for individual parts anymore. Nope. They buy racks. They buy fully integrated, complete systems that are ready to be plugged in and deployed at massive scale in their data centers. That is the new currency.
And this is exactly how Helios meets that need. It's not a CPU, it's not a GPU, it's the whole shebang. You've got the EPYC CPUs as the brain, the MI55 GPUs for the heavy AI lifting, Pensando for networking it all together, and a software stack to make it all sing. AMD now sells the entire solution at once.
So let's talk money. How does this change the financial picture? Well, this isn't just some tech upgrade. It's a complete teardown and rebuild of their business model.
You see, the business is pivoting. It's moving from selling parts to selling complete, repeatable systems. The conversation is no longer about raw speed benchmarks. Now it's about total cost of ownership and deploying an entire fleet of these things.
And just look at what this does for revenue. Instead of selling one component, AMD is now selling the entire rack. The value of a single sale just explodes. It's a total game changer.
This approach makes the business so much more stable and predictable. Revenue is now tied to a customer's massive build-out plans, not just a single product win. And it finally smooths out those crazy, volatile cycles from the past.
And the scale here is, well, it's almost hard to comprehend. This whole strategy is designed to capture the insane growth in AI. We're talking about a need for so much computing power that we have to measure it in yottaFLOPs. That's a 1 with 24 zeros after it. But, okay, let's be real. A massive pivot like this isn't without its dangers. This new model is a double-edged sword, and it brings a whole new set of risks. The big one is concentrated risk. AMD's success is now tied incredibly tightly to the spending habits of just a few massive customers. If one of them decides to cut their AI budget, that could have a huge impact. Then there's the roadmap itself. It is intense. Shipping a brand new generation of these super complex systems every single year creates enormous pressure to execute flawlessly. A single delay could be a huge problem. And you gotta remember, each of these systems is a marvel of engineering. They rely on layers and layers of cutting-edge tech. One little hiccup in the supply chain, from the packaging to the memory, could throw the entire roadmap off track. So, even with those risks on the table, the core takeaway here is still incredibly powerful. This shift represents a genuine, fundamental upgrade to AMD's entire business. So let's just boil this all down. AMD is moving from being just another component supplier to becoming a strategic partner in building out AI infrastructure. This whole new model means more revenue, better predictability, and a much smoother ride. The bottom line is this: AMD's story has fundamentally changed. This is a different company than it was just a few short years ago, and it's now competing in a whole new league. Which leaves us with one final big question for the whole industry. As we build out this new age of AI, who's going to win? Will it be the company that makes the best individual part, or will it be the one that builds the best complete system?
Most investors are going to spend the rest of the year just chasing headlines and reacting to fear. But the real edge, the real alpha, is in understanding the underlying structure of the market before it becomes common knowledge. So if you want to keep your focus on the signals that actually matter, this is where we do that.